Alex Smith and his time in Washington has come to an end. Alex Smith was released by the Washington football team last week. Smith, of course, won the NFL Comeback Player of the Year last year after returning from a gruesome leg injury he suffered in the 2018 regular season. And apparently, Ben, there was a lot of hesitation on the part of the Washington football team about whether or not to clear him or play him. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but just some more on the whole saga that went around. So in the beginning of the season, Smith, apparently his doctors cleared him. Washington was hesitant. They did not want him to come back out of, one, concerns for his health, but the obvious other concern they probably had was the fact that they would have had to pay him a lot more money that's left on his huge contract. So that probably played a part in this, and they did. And after all the terrible PR they had, releasing Alex Smith probably wouldn't have been a good move in the beginning of the year. So I think like a lot of factors played into that. There's probably why you didn't see Smith play even when Dwayne Haskins struggled earlier in the year, and then they went to that quarterback from Carolina whose
Kyle
name I
Allen.
forgot.
Yeah.
Kyle, yeah, the most generic white ass name I've ever heard.
It's backup
So
quarterback name.
So Ron Rivera, when he was asked about why they hesitated with Smith earlier in the year, he said the lingering concern was, quote, what if he gets hurt? And again, this is someone who won the comeback player of the year. This is someone who, before he was injured, was a pretty good, damn near great starting quarterback in the NFL and effective. Like the least you can say about Alex Smith, the worst thing you can say about him is he is and he throws the ball efficiently. Like he can manage the fuck out of a game. That is Alex Smith at his worst. So, what do you think about this saga? Because there seems to be a lot of bad blood, especially on Alex Smith's part, in the way he was treated. So, what do you think? Was Washington right in the way they treated him? Were they just in a terrible position given where they were, or what's up?
We're talking about a Dan Snyder run football team, and you expect them to have to be run well? I mean, come on. Like, there's nothing about Washington over the past 10 years, ever since I mean, like think about it. They have not been good for the time that Dan Snyder has been running that football team. And you expected anything to change? Like, I mean, it's the same ownership. Like it all starts at the top. And like of course they would be afraid to clear him. I like if you're a doctor, think about it from a non-medical perspective. Like think about it as a doctor who's not good at their job, who doesn't want to do their job. You're like, oh, I just saw a guy get his leg broken in a scary way. I'm gonna disregard everything else that the medicine tells me and the x-rays tell me and anything about this guy's medical history tells me, and just replay that injury in my head and say, I'm too freaked out to ever see that happen again. I mean, what kind of doctor does that? A Washington football team doctor. That's who would do that. I mean, this is the type of organization we're
Yeah,
dealing with
the
here.
same doctors that sent out RG3 after he already partially tore his ACL in the playoff
Yeah.
game.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
so
this is people always make fun of the Jets. This is the worst run franchise in the NFL. They
oh
got
yeah,
lucky that they traded for Alex Smith, and honestly, I remember the day that he got traded there, and people were like, "Oh, is this going to do anything?" I was like, "Washington's going to win the division." Because and I said these words over and over, and
yep.
I will still say it about Alex Smith. Alex Smith wins football games. You just need to. That's it. The guy just. I don't know how he does it. He'll throw for 130 yards and he'll run for 50 more. I mean, he's just a guy who's going to win football games. He'll go 11-5 every year. That's what he does. He's Alex Smith. He's going to find a way to
Dude,
win.
Alex Smith is Joe Flacco. They
No, 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 no. He's
yes.
better than Joe Flacco. He's better than Joe Flacco.
I always try to throw in a Joe Flacco reference every episode, but
Now you hit your quota. There you go.
yeah, I hit my quota. But yeah, I look. He look. Ever since he kind of got his confidence back during the 2011 year, like Smith has just been on a roll in the NFL. Like you want to say, like, oh, he doesn't put up the best numbers, or like the dude completes 70% of his passes. Like, oh yeah, sure, he has like he averages like what 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions like a year, like basically up until last year. Like that dude, there are barely like 10 quarterbacks right now who could consistently every year give you those numbers. And Alex Smith is like is one who has been there, done that. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's played in the playoffs, won playoff games, gone to championship games. The dude knows what he's doing. And for Washington to believe that, look, I understand the underlying injury concerns. Everyone was scared for Alex Smith when he first went out there, and Aaron Donald basically like just jumped on his back for a sack. Everyone was like fearful. But at a certain point, you do have to look at your roster from top to bottom. Alex Smith was at this point cleared. And you have to look at it like, all right, who gives us the best chance to win? We are in the shittiest division in the history of football, especially the year that they were playing. This was 2020. The 2020 NFC East was the shittiest division in the history of football. I'm talking about going back to the 1800s. I don't even know if they had divisions back in like Yale and all them. This is worse than those teams that like ended everything in ties. It was the worst division in the history of football, and you're telling me that you honestly believed that Kyle Allen and Dwayne fucking Haskins gave you a better chance to win than the guy who might not throw for like 10 touchdowns this year, but he's gonna complete passes when you need to, and you know your defense is gonna be pretty good. How do you get to that point where you literally insult the guy by saying, yeah, no, this dude who won like 2 games in Carolina last year, yeah, he's better than you. This dude who everyone knows is a bust, he's automatically better than you. Like, how does that happen? Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.